Welcome back, everybody. Backcountry Pursuit. Little infield news. Elk 3, me 0. But the good news out of all that is I'm getting an elk. They're real quiet right now. They're still separated. I have yet to find a bull that's with cows. Perfect example was this morning. I did run into two first light. It was just a little bull and a spike, and they were sparring this morning. They were like 300 yards out there in the middle of this huge giant meadow. There was no way between anywhere to close distance. So I kind of just sat there and enjoyed watching them for a while, and then I did try to throw a little bit of cow calling at them. I just wanted to see what the responses were. They weren't having that. They didn't care. They actually just walked off. I was just like, kind of bummed me out a little bit. Like, I know it's around the corner. It's going to happen anytime. And I figured that he wasn't. I bet if I had to say he was a raghorn, but I bet next year he'll be a pretty good mature satellite bull, and he didn't care. So it's like, okay, well, that's a bummer. But it was cool seeing him. I'm glad I'm getting in him. Later on that day, I mean, I think I went 7 miles, real close to 7 miles, according to the track from Onyx and my Garmin. Right there towards the end, I threw a call out there. I usually do this once in a while just to see if I can get responses at noon, or just a little before noon, or even afternoon. And I actually did get a response, which shocked me, but I think it was because I shocked him. Apparently, I must have snuck right by him. He must have been bedded down. The thermals, I'm down from him, and the thermals were heading up on this hillside because it was not real dense trees, but it was, so I threw this, it was crazy. I threw this, so I was actually stripping my base layers down, and I tapped my bugle tube. I said, all right, let's get a tone out of this thing, and threw a little wimpy bugle out. And this thing fired up, but as soon as he fired up, he stood up and took off. Like he knew better to even say anything, but it must have just been a reaction. That's where this is where a little part of me is thinking it's around the corner. I think it's going to happen anytime. I know last year we were a little late, and the one drainage we were in, and we hunted that pretty much the whole month of archery season. And the only time I can ever get an elk bugling is if you were in their bedroom, 150, 200 yards. And then when rifle season, the first opener of rifle season, the whole mountain was lit up. Elk were just bugling like crazy. So I'm really hoping we don't push it that far again. I really enjoy bow hunting side of things, because with people, me, myself, my buddies, everybody with rifles, you get an elk bugle and boy, everybody's going there. So I don't like that per se. So I'm really hoping it is not as late as last year. But with that, I don't think I'm going to move. I'm just going to keep hunting this because, like I said, I'm getting into elk. The only thing I've noticed so far is I'm not getting into cows, and that's got me a little worried. Hopefully by next weekend when I get up here, the bulls that in the elk I have found aren't moving, because I think they're going to eventually to find cows. I haven't found cows yet. That's probably going to be my tonight's project, is I got to find some cows, because if all I'm finding are bulls, that's not good, because as soon as the rut does take off, you're going to have a hard time. Everything you found earlier this season probably isn't going to be in this area. That's just a little tip. If you're finding nothing but bulls and no cows, make sure you try to find at least a group of cows somewhere, or a bedding area, or signs that cows or a big group of elk has been in an area. Because these bulls will move. They'll leave. When it gets that time, they're going to find them. So, and that might be the next drainage over. So yeah, that's our little infield news. Other than that, everything's I'm doing awesome. I slept in the Jeep last week. No bueno. I brought the tent. Much better. Slept a lot better last night. I was actually super excited. I was trying to listen last night, but I'm just getting anxious. I'm ready for the magic to happen. But we'll go on with the tip of the day from Wind River Outdoor Company there in Lander, Wyoming. Real quick, we'll talk about food, particularly on the dry food side. I think me personally, when you guys purchase these, you guys really need to try them at home before you bring them out in the field. There might be some that you just won't like, and that's not even the worst part. There might even be some that might mess with your guts, not make you feel good. So make sure you're trying them at home. You know, they are loaded with nutrients. So make sure you're not having 3-course meals every day trying them. You know, once a week, okay, I want to try this one out. Boil some water, try it out. Have the kids try it out. That is a very good tip, because there's actually been a time I've done that. I actually brought the Mountain House biscuits and gravy up, and boy, that did not settle great with me, and it just ruined my whole day. So make sure you try them at home. But on that note, we do have a new, I switched over. I went from Mountain House to Peak Refuel. And as of right now, we have the new Chad Mendez ones in the store, and I'm telling you what, they are so good. These are packed with nutrients, 40 grams of protein per pack. They're made from real food. They're freeze-dried, they're freeze-dried. So what's nice about that is it allows me to carry my little stove. I'll carry my little MSR, because these things don't take nothing for water. I think this whole pack right here is 10 ounces of water. That's it. Compared to like some of the Mountain Houses, where it was like 16s, and so it allowed me to carry a smaller stove, which is super great. But with the Peak refills, I've switched over. Especially these new Chad Mendez ones, they really they almost taste like something you cooked at home. So these are awesome. I like them. I really recommend them. There's one that really don't do a whole lot for benefit for you, but I really do like, is their Mountain Berry granola. I really do like this one. But it don't give you too much of a benefit besides a sweet tooth fix. So, but other than that, these things are awesome. I probably are going to stay with Peak unless someone else comes out with something better. But as of right now, these guys have been improving, and I think they're going the right way, in the right direction. So yeah, with that. The next on my list, though, that I like to carry in my pack, and I've been doing this for about 2 years now, is Wind River likes to carry these Katie's Real Food bars. These things are amazing. This one is the mango coconut. I used to carry Cliff bars, but they're so full of sugar and pretty much taste like sap. You know, I can yet to find a really good Cliff bar, but I'll just pack them and eat them anyway, just because I'm trying to put something in my belly. But these things are awesome. I think they got 4 or 5 different flavors at the store. They're about the same as a Cliff bar for price, but it's real food and it's way better. So yeah, Katie's Real Food bars, they're awesome. But my last thing that I rely on a lot, and I've been relying on these guys for a few years now, is Mountain Ops. I carry Mountain Ops Ignite. I love the extra energy these things give me. I always carry a bottle of water in my pack. We sit down and have lunch. I will throw one of these in. Gives my water some flavor. Gives me a little energy. This is their new soda edition. We actually don't have them at the store right now, because these must have been a hot item. We're having a hard time getting them. Everybody that I've talked to is having a hard time getting these. But all their other flavors are really good. I've tried them all and I like all of them. So another good tip, though, is Mountain Ops also makes this immune package. I'll do 2 of these a day. It's got lots of vitamins, lots of zinc in it. What's nice about these, you don't need water you don't have to waste water with this one. All you do is tear it open, pour it in your mouth, and you kind of chew it. It's pretty good. But I rely on Mountain Ops a lot. On the off season, I'll do their proteins. You know, getting in shape, you know, getting ready for season. I'll switch my meal out to a protein meal from Mountain Ops. They're really delicious. But yeah, Mountain Ops, I rely on these guys a lot. I've tried them. I've loved them. We have a whole plethora of Mountain Ops at the store. I mean, they've got all the way from the Enduros all the way to the Yetis, the Ignites. They get them in the jars, or you can get them in the single serve packs like this. I love the single serve packs like this because I can throw them in my pack. Now the jars are great too, but mostly for home, unless you pre-made your bottles before you went out in the field. But The to-go packs are awesome, and what's super cool about what they're doing is they're actually selling them singly. You can buy the whole jar of single serves, or you can just, if you want to try a whole bunch of different flavors, you go to the store, pick out a couple different flavors, you pay singly, which I think is great just to get people familiar with them or see what flavors they like before you get out in the field and kind of test everything at home. But that concludes our tip of the day from Wind River Outdoor Company there in Lander, Wyoming. Go check them out. They got some great selection of dry foods to actual real food and mountain ops. So go check them out and let me know what you think. Now moving forward with season, a little tip my end of things is if you have elk in the area, make sure you're going to stay in the area. I actually had this stupid idea that I should go try. I need to go check out this other side of the mountain, but it's like there's elk here. If there starts to be a problem where I'm not seeing elk, then that's when you should make those moves. But if you're seeing elk, then I have to tell myself that. I have to tell myself that all the time. Stop. We're still hunting here. I've been through about 5 drainages already, and in those 5 drainages, and it's only September 4, I've got elk in almost every drainage. There's not a lot of them yet. They're spread out, but they're here. So that's just a little tip. Just make sure you just keep at it. I mean, the beginning sucks. For some people, it's a lot hard. It's way hard. People kind of give up. Don't give up. Just keep hammering. It's just, they're there. They're in these drainages. They're not active. You got heat in the daytime, so they're coming out late at night. They're leaving. They're going to bed early. So it does kind of suck. You got to do some timber pounding and see if you can't find them in their bed. But if they're in the area, stay in the area. Again, back to the beginning though, is I'm having a hard time with cows. I got to find some cows, and I'm having a hard time with that. Hopefully these next couple days, this weekend, I can find something. I'm really going to focus on that. Obviously, calling tactics ain't working right now, which it's early. So I need to find cows because I got to get ready for the calling tactics. Because if I don't find the cows, the elk leave, well, then you might want to find a different ridge. But for right now, we're going to keep hammering on this area, keep timber pounding. And it's good. It's good to go out and you find rubs. You can find, oh, it's so fun. You know, the one thing I found out this year too, I noticed that the mushrooms in this area, I've never seen so many. Being in the timber like this and you're really looking at stuff, there is a lot of mushrooms this year. I don't know why. Just for some reason, it must have just been the perfect temps, perfect moisture. So we've got a lot of shrooms. I think that's kind of cool. But well, stay tuned for the next video, guys. I really appreciate you. Any comment, anything you guys want to know, anything on the back table, on the mountain ops, the peak refills, let me know. I got plenty of experience with these 2 items for sure, and I can kind of point you the right direction on what's the best flavors, because I've had a lot of foods. They're not that great. So throw me some comments. Stay tuned for the next video. It's hunt season. There's nothing to be sad about. Let's do this. Let's go.